Today I'm in Colleyville, Texas to discuss the pros and cons of living in this small, fast-growing city, so stay tuned. My name is Richard Soto, a local real estate broker with VIP Realty right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as we do weekly videos talking all about living, working, and playing right here in North Texas. Today I'm in Colleyville, and we're going to discuss the pros and cons of living in this awesome, fast-growing Tarrant County city. Colleyville is a suburb of Fort Worth, Texas, and has a population of around 27,000 and is neighbors with the acclaimed city of Southlake. You have access to great shopping and dining, parks and recreation, and you're going to be in one of the best ISDs in North Texas. There's a lot to love about living right here in Colleyville. However, as we already know, no city's perfect and neither is Colleyville, so we're also going to tackle the cons of living right here in the city. So let's start with the pros, and the first pro of living right here in Colleyville is going to be the location. So if you live in Colleyville and you're trying to get to downtown Dallas, it's going to be about a 27-mile drive to downtown Dallas. So if you're trying to get to downtown Fort Worth, you're looking at about a short 17-mile drive. If you're wanting to get to the suburbs, whether it's Plano, Frisco, it's not going to be a bad drive either. So the location here in Colleyville isn't the best central location in the area. As you already know, I believe Las Colinas is the most central area. However, it's not bad here in Colleyville. And if you like to travel for business or pleasure like myself, the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport is only a short 15-minute drive away. So if you want to be in a great location between the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, this might be a city that you might want to consider. Moving on to the next pro of living right here in Colleyville, and that is going to be that it's great for families. According to niche.com, Colleyville ranked number 15 out of 415 cities right here in the Lone Star State. That is an incredible high rating. If you have families, you'll have access to competitive youth sports such as baseball, lacrosse, soccer, and obviously the very best sport of all, basketball. Not to mention, you're going to be in an area that has extremely low crime, so if being secure and safe is of utmost importance, this is going to be a great place to raise a family. And with the kids in mind, you're also going to have access to one of the best school districts in North Texas as well. These are all pros of living right here in Colleyville, which we are about to explore more in depth individually, starting with the school district right here in Colleyville. The Public Independent School District right here in Colleyville is going to be exceptional. Not only is it one of the best school systems in North Texas, it's one of the best school systems in the state of Texas. So you're literally going to send your children to one of the best public ISDs in the Lone Star State. As a matter of fact, Area Vibes has given the Colleyville ISD an A+ rating. Colleyville, Texas School District includes the Grapevine Colleyville Independent School District, which has 11 elementary schools, 4 middle schools, and 2 high schools. Using the proficiency score averages, the average test score for Colleyville is 71%. An average of 96.9% have completed high school. Niche.com has given the public school system an A+ rating. If you're seeking out a private education, the highly sought-out Covenant Christian Academy is an option. It has K through 12th grade education and small class sizes, and 100% of their students graduating from college with a 4-year degree. As most of you know, I refuse to pay for private school for my 2 young boys, so having access to an exceptional public school is of the utmost importance for me, and I can assure you I would feel very comfortable sending both of my boys right here to Colleyville schools. Walking around the town center here in Colleyville, I looked across the roadway and I seen a VIP mortgage, not affiliated, but we're here with Brian. Wanted to ask him a couple of questions. Brian, how long have you lived here in Colleyville?
I've lived in Colleyville for a couple of years, but our business, we just celebrated our 17th year anniversary. And we bought this building here in Colleyville 7 years ago.
Wow. Well, how do you like having your business and your office right here in the town center?
I love it. Short drive.
That's always nice. Now, what are the pros of having the business here, and what are the cons? It can't be all good.
Honestly, the only con is parking. Colleyville's an amazing city. I love it here. After I moved my family here to Colleyville, after opening my business in Colleyville, because we just like the town so much, the people, the Chamber of Commerce, everybody's incredible.
Gotcha. Now, do you have kids?
6.
6. So has the Colleyville ISD been an important factor of moving here?
No, my kids are actually still in Keller ISD, so we live right on the Colleyville-Keller line. We moved from Keller, and we bought on the line so they could stay in their schools.
Gotcha, but you're in Colleyville City.
Yes.
And that's important to know, guys. If you move, make sure your realtor, if you're wanting to be in the if you're wanting to be in the Colleyville ISD or Southlake ISD, whatever city that you're relocating to, just because your address says X city doesn't mean you might go to that city's ISD, so please keep that in mind. Now, what do you love about living in your new home here in Colleyville since you relocated recently?
That's a hard question, man. I don't know. I love the neighborhood. I love the neighbors, the people. Everybody's so friendly. Everybody's very communicative.
Sure.
To the point where people are just so genuine in Colleyville. I mean, I can't think of a better place to live personally.
Okay, great. What do you dislike? The taxes. What is it?
Taxes are high. I really don't have any dislikes.
Right.
I really don't. I can't. Nothing comes to mind.
Sure.
Except my HOA.
Right.
They suck.
Nobody likes HOAs and high taxes, so we can all agree on that. Now, Brian, and you're in the mortgage industry. Like I said earlier, he's with VIP Mortgage. How do you see the market currently? Is it still very competitive in your opinion?
Extremely competitive. Where there's still multiple offers going in on homes. The prices are still getting driven way over the asking price. It's no longer, you don't have 30 people putting in a contract on every house anymore. It's more like 5 or 6. So that has slowed a little bit. But the market, with the rates going up, people are really scrambling trying to get something under contract before they get worse. Rates have risen about 1.5 points in the last 2-3 months.
Wow, so they're definitely going up.
Yes.
Now, in your opinion, if you're a home buyer and you're considering purchasing a home this year or maybe later in the year, is it your opinion that maybe they should act quickly?
Yes.
Okay.
Do it now.
Right.
All the forecasts show that rates are going to do nothing but continue to go up. The only thing that could trigger a little reversal on that is whatever happens with the war. But that's kind of all up in the air. Fannie Mae stopped buying mortgage-backed securities. Well, they're still buying some. But the government, not Fannie Mae, I'm sorry. The government stopped buying mortgage-backed securities as much as they had been. In November, they announced that they were tapering off every month. They were going to go half. That's why the rates are going up. The government were buying billions of dollars in mortgage-backed securities for the last 2 or 3 years to keep the rates artificially low.
Right.
They've decided to quit doing that.
Got it.
And the less mortgage-backed securities the government buys, the higher the rates are getting.
Got it.
So once they get to 0, we should see a level out on rates, and we shouldn't see so much fluctuation. But the increase has been pretty severe. The average 30-year deal is in the low 4s again.
Got it. So if you're thinking about purchasing a home, not to belabor the point, guys, but the home prices, in my opinion, are not going down anytime soon. And in addition to that, the interest rates are going up also. So your buying power isn't going to be the same most likely in 3 months or so. So if you're thinking about purchasing, definitely act quickly and don't sit on that bench, because you're going to have to pay quite a bit more if you're waiting till later on in the year. Just wrapped up lunch at Gloria's. What can I say? It always hits the spot. It doesn't matter if I'm in Colleyville, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio. If you're looking for some good Tex-Mex, Gloria is always a great option. Now we're headed to go look at a couple of different neighborhoods. I'd like for you to get a feel of the different real estate options and subdivisions that are available here in Colleyville, as well as we're about to tour a new listing that just hit the market. It's going to be beautiful, just under $2 million, so stay tuned. Colleyville is considered a luxury city, and there are some fantastic neighborhoods in Colleyville. There are a ton of large trees that line the streets, and that's something you don't see often in other suburban neighborhoods. Most of the homes sit on large lots, and you can actually find some acreage in certain parts of Colleyville. Some of Colleyville neighborhoods are gated and guarded with security check at the entrance. The neighborhoods are meticulously maintained. Most residents will have pools or at least heavily landscaped backyard oasis and high HOA fees. 96% of homes are owned in Colleyville rather than rented. When you have that high of statistic, you can definitely see the sense of pride in ownership as you drive through the neighborhoods. I did find some new construction homes and subdivisions with more modern builds, something you don't often see when driving through Colleyville. Okay, wanted to show you one of the listings that's active on the market right now, right here in Colleyville. You're going to love this home. It's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 3-car garage sitting at around 4,500 square feet and listed just under $2 million. Let me tell you, this house is a showstopper right at the end of a cul-de-sac. The backyard is massive, so if you want to put numerous pools with slides, gazebos, whatever it is that you want, fire pit, there's plenty of room on this massive lot. So let's go inside and take a look. Just wrapped up showing you the home that's listed for sale currently on the market. What can I say? It's a showstopper. I love that type of modern luxury home. I wish it was closer to the Las Colinas area. I would definitely be tempted to purchase that property. However, in my side of town, you're definitely not going to find lots like that. And in regards to having personal belongings, whether it's in your home or in your car, I can tell you this about Colleyville. You're going to feel safe and secure. The crime rate right here in Colleyville is one of the lowest crime rates in the state of Texas. So whether you're single or you have family, you're going to be in a safe environment. Colleyville is a perfect A+ rating when it comes to crime in the city. In fact, Colleyville crime rates are 75% lower than the national average. Violent crimes in Colleyville are 93% lower than the national average, and Colleyville is safer than 89% of the cities in the United States. Year over year, crime in Colleyville has decreased by 7%. Moving on to the next pro of living in Colleyville, and that's going to be parks and recreation. There are going to be several parks where you can have some biking trails, some jogging trails, walking trails. If you just want to get out and toss the football, catch the baseball, play some soccer, dribble the basketball, whatever it is that you want to do in the outdoors, or maybe you just want to get some vitamin D, Colleyville is going to offer some of the nicest parks right here in the DFW area. Okay, before we get into the cons, this one's a 50-50, so I'll let you decide, and that is things to do. Colleyville kind of reminds me of Capel in the fact that, quite frankly, if you live here in Colleyville, you're probably not going to do most of your shopping and entertaining here in Colleyville. While there are some restaurants, a couple little bars, you're most likely going to take that short commute to Southlake. So it's not going to be in Colleyville. So I don't know. I just don't feel like there's not a lot of entertainment options. Saying that, depending on your lifestyle, there are restaurants, there are a couple bars, there's obviously a movie theater, but as far as a lot of maybe adult entertainments, live music venues, things like that, you're not going to find it right here in Colleyville. So it's a 50-50, just depending on your lifestyle. Moving on to the first con, and that's going to be diversity. In Colleyville, you're not going to have much diversity, and according to bestneighborhoods.org, it gave Colleyville a 63 out of 100. So as you can see, you're not going to have much diversity if you live in Colleyville. I myself love that my kids are surrounded by different people that speak different languages from all parts of the world, whether it's at school, in our youth tournament events, in the neighborhood. So that's going to be a big con in my opinion, and that's going to be diversity. Moving on to the second con, and that's going to be the lack of new construction in communities. The majority of the homes that were built in Colleyville were going to be built in the 1990s. While there are some pockets of new construction and you can tear down a home and rebuild a new custom house, the majority of the city is going to lack with new construction. Unlike when you go to Frisco and Plano, you're going to have access to numerous subdivisions, a ton of different builders. So new construction is going to somewhat lack in Colleyville in comparison to other suburbs around the DFW Metroplex. Moving on to the third con, and that's going to be the cost of living. If you're trying to save money or you're on a budget, Colleyville is not going to be the ideal city to call home. As a matter of fact, Colleyville has been given an F in regards to the grade for the cost of living. It's beautiful in Colleyville. There's beautiful homes, beautiful neighborhoods, exceptional schools, and you're going to have to pay for that lifestyle. So once again, if you're trying to save money, don't bother moving to Colleyville because it's not going to happen. Colleyville is 30% higher than the national average and 40% higher than the Texas average, where we see the biggest expenses in housing. Home prices range from the 600s to tens of millions of dollars. The housing costs in Colleyville are 117% higher than the national average. Let's face it, home prices are pretty much up everywhere around the state of Texas and the nation, and Colleyville is no exception. The average household income in Colleyville is around $220,000, so if you have deep pockets, Colleyville might be the city for you. I had a great time in Colleyville today. I always love coming to Tarrant County. It's a beautiful city, beautiful neighborhood. It has a lot to offer. In particular, in my opinion, for families, just all the great recreational activities and the exceptional schools make Colleyville my personal shortlist if I was ever to relocate from where I currently live. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're thinking about relocating to the Colleyville area or throughout the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, or throughout the state of Texas, my team and I would love to assist you with your next real estate transaction. And as always, we'll see you on the next video.